Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. He's there right now. This is this. Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro.
It says the charges mark the latest fallout from the high-profile killing of King Von. They connecting dots.
Following his recent arrest by federal agents, the spotlight is back on Lil Durk in a shocking twist tied to a 2022 shooting involving rapper Quando Rondo. The OTF boss has officially been taken into custody, and reports suggest he could be facing the fight of his life in court. Durk, known to fans worldwide for his rise from the streets to private jets, now finds himself locked behind prison walls awaiting trial. Court filings reveal that prosecutors hit him and several OTF affiliates with serious federal charges, including accusations of conspiracy and weapons use. If convicted, the maximum sentence on the table could mean life in federal prison. According to the indictment, investigators allege that Durk and others crossed state lines in connection to the attack, sparking one of the most dramatic cases hip-hop has seen in years. With his real name, Durk Banks, now making headlines in the Broward County jail system, the future of OTF has never been more uncertain. Here's the breakdown. Federal investigators linked 5 OTF members to the August 2022 Los Angeles shooting that claimed the life of Quando Rondo's cousin, with reports saying Rondo himself was the intended target in what looked like retaliation for King Von's tragic death. According to records, authorities have been searching for any direct tie between Lil Durk and the alleged murder-for-hire scheme involving his affiliates. The case points back to 2020 at Atlanta's Monaco Hookah Lounge, where King Von was killed, an incident that still haunts the rap world today. Prosecutors believe the 2022 shooting was part of that same deadly cycle. And once those 5 OTF members were indicted, the pressure mounted on Durk himself. For investigators, it seemed only a matter of time before the OTF boss faced his most devastating legal battle yet. As expected, DJ Akademiks wasted no time reporting the shocking news of Durk's arrest, sending the entire industry into a frenzy. After posting a video on the case, DJ Akademiks tweeted, "Breaking, Lil Durk has been arrested by U.S. Marshals and is being held in Broward County Correctional Facility until extradition to California on federal charges. The reported charge, murder for hire connected to the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab." And just like that, Cat Williams' warning about 2024 being the year of truth feels more real than ever. Court filings now claim OTF is being treated like a criminal organization, with the indictment laying out shocking details. Prosecutors allege that one co-conspirator placed bounties on rivals, including TB, the name used to reference Quando Rondo. The claim, OTF affiliates were promised either money or music industry opportunities in exchange for carrying out the hit. Investigators also allege that co-conspirator 3, believed to be Durk, used an OTF-linked credit card to purchase airline tickets and hotel rooms for those sent to California for the attack. That same card was reportedly tied to Durk's former manager, and even his father. But in the end, the plan went south. The indictment says defendants Jones, Lindsay, and others fired multiple shots, killing Lil Pab in the chaos. Lil Pab, who was riding in Quando Rondo's vehicle, became the tragic victim that day. Rumors quickly spread that someone had leaked Rondo's location, and the indictment seems to back that up. Court filings state that on August 18, 2022, conspirators learned that TB, meaning Rondo, was in Los Angeles, staying at a hotel. The big question remains, who tipped them off? According to prosecutors, the alleged hit squad used 2 cars, one with no license plate, to stalk their target. At a Los Angeles gas station, they unleashed at least 18 shots into the vehicle, killing Lil Pab instantly. Afterwards, the group reportedly met up at a restaurant, scrambled to split payments, and then made one costly mistake, using an OTF-linked credit card to book flights back to Chicago. And the case keeps getting more complicated. Lil Durk's trial, originally set for January 2025, has now been pushed back to October 2025. Why? Both sides agreed it was too massive. With more than 230 gigabytes of digital evidence, 20,000 pages of reports, and mountains of photos and witness statements. But here's the real twist. Court records show the FBI also linked Durk to yet another alleged murder-for-hire plot in Chicago. Though he hasn't been charged in that case yet, Court documents reveal even more explosive claims. An FBI affidavit cites text messages and social media exchanges suggesting payments linked to Durk, allegedly tied to the 2022 murder of 24-year-old Gangster Disciples leader Stephen M. Word on the street says this was retaliation for the 2021 killing of Durk's brother, D. Thang, who was reportedly gunned down by a GD member. According to investigators, the affidavit alleges Durk was and still is offering money against those believed responsible for his brother's death, including longtime rivals in the Gangster Disciples. Prosecutors used this newly unsealed document to argue against Durk's pretrial release, claiming it proves he poses too much of a risk if freed before trial. Durk's legal team fought hard to get him released, but the FBI's affidavit became the nail in the coffin. Prosecutors stated flat out that the evidence underscores why the defendant cannot be released pending his trial. And it all circles back to one thing. Fans once pushed the Slide for Von campaign, urging Durk to retaliate for King Von's death. Prosecutors now believe this entire saga is rooted in a bitter cycle of street wars that began in Atlanta back in 2020, when Von was tragically killed after the clash with Quando Rondo's crew. It's wild to think all of this chaos traces back to what started as a street fight in 2020. That moment spiraled into years of fallout, and now Durk may be forced to carry the consequences for life. But to really understand why Durk felt pressured to slide for Von, you have to look at the bond he shared with his best friend. Lil Durk, born Durk Derek Banks on October 19, 1992, grew up in Chicago's Englewood neighborhood, an area known for poverty, gang activity, and constant struggles. With his father locked up before Durk was even a year old, he had to learn survival early. Music became his escape, a way out of the cycle that trapped so many around him. King Von, born Davin Daquan Bennett on August 19, 1994, came from the O Block area, one of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods. Just like Durk, Von grew up around loss, violence, and police run-ins. But Von had a gift. His charisma and raw storytelling quickly set him apart, earning him respect as a rising rapper. When Durk, already a star in Chicago's rap scene, met Von, he saw more than just talent. He saw someone with the same pain, the same hunger, and the same drive. That connection made them inseparable, more like family than friends. Durk took Von under his wing, guiding him through the chaos of the music industry and the streets at the same time. Their friendship wasn't just about making hits, it was about loyalty and survival. In a world where trust is rare, they leaned on each other, building a bond that felt more like family than just friends. That loyalty shaped both their lives and careers, leaving a mark that fans still feel today. And Durk himself said it best when he opened up about Von during his Breakfast Club interview, giving the world a glimpse of just how deep their connection really was. As their bond grew stronger, Durk officially signed King Von to his OTF label, marking the start of their professional brotherhood. Von's debut mixtape Grandson Volume 1 dropped in 2019, featuring collaborations with Durk on tracks like Crazy Story 2.0 and Twin Nim. The project was a breakout success, and Von's vivid storytelling quickly built him a loyal fan base, cementing the evil twin connection fans loved. But here's the raw truth. Before music, Von had already made a name for himself in the streets. He only turned to rap after beating a major legal case in 2017, and when he stepped into the booth, he didn't hold back, calling out rivals and turning his street persona into lyrical firepower. Von's background in Chicago's O Block shaped his identity. Growing up surrounded by rival crews just blocks away, he was pulled deep into street life as a teenager. The reputation he earned for being fearless followed him into music, where his tracks carried the same raw energy. By the time Von dropped his debut, his name already carried weight, and with Durk backing him, his rise felt unstoppable. The killing of King Doc marked a turning point in Von's story. Around this time, he became very active on Twitter, starting in June 2012. What shocked many fans was how openly he posted about his lifestyle, often bragging, taunting rivals, and making bold threats in front of the world. Von constantly referenced O Block and his closest friends like T-Roy, creating an online persona that mirrored the streets. His tweets were raw, fearless, and often disturbing, even joking about violence as if it meant nothing. On August 7, 2012, he tweeted, "Homicide in the air, smells like a graveyard." Just hours later, news broke of another killing connected to ongoing street conflicts in Chicago. By then, Von's name was circulating heavily, not just in the city but online too. His reputation started to grow darker with every tweet, and fans began to see him less as just another rapper. and more as someone building a legend around fear, retaliation, and chaos. This was only the beginning. Each new incident added to Von's myth, making him one of the most talked about and controversial figures coming out of Chicago's drill scene. And the saga didn't stop there, because soon more names would be tied into this cycle of violence. Von's rising fame came with a dangerous reputation, but as his name grew bigger, so did the risks. His hot temper often put him in the middle of conflicts, and one of the biggest was with rapper Quando Rondo. The tension traced back to affiliations, Von's close ties with Lil Durk and Rondo's connection to NBA YoungBoy. Fans already knew about the feud between Durk and YoungBoy, and it spilled over to their camps, setting the stage for disaster. On November 6, 2020, both groups ended up at Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. The vibe was already tense, but no one expected what came next. Surveillance cameras later showed Von walking up on Rondo outside the venue. In an instant, a fight broke out. Fists flying, entourages clashing, chaos everywhere. But then it escalated. Reports say someone from Rondo's side pulled a weapon, and shots rang out in the middle of the brawl. Von was hit, and panic took over the scene as people ran in every direction. His team rushed to get him to safety, but the night had already turned tragic. That moment changed everything, not only for Von and Durk, but for the entire rap game. King Von was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but sadly, he didn't make it through the night. The news devastated fans and the hip-hop community, marking one of the darkest moments in recent rap history. Not long after, Timothy Leaks was taken into custody at the scene and later released on bond, a decision that sparked major outrage among Von's supporters. Meanwhile, Quando Rondo, who was present during the altercation, quickly spoke out. In multiple interviews, he denied being involved in the shooting, insisting he didn't even know Von personally and had no direct issues with him. Rondo claimed that his crew acted purely in self-defense during the chaotic fight, but the controversy surrounding that night has never faded. After Von's passing, rumors swirled that Quando Rondo tried to take his chain, something Rondo strongly denied. He fired back, saying people were clout chasing and spreading lies, insisting nobody would think about jewelry in the middle of chaos. Still, the backlash was heavy. Fans and fellow artists pointed the finger at Rondo, blaming him for what went down that night. His shows were canceled, threats piled up, but he stayed defiant, dropping music and standing by his claim of innocence. In one controversial move, Rondo gifted his associate Lil Tim an expensive watch, calling him "my twin" in an Instagram post. That single act fueled even more tension, as many saw it as a public show of loyalty. Meanwhile, all eyes turned to Durk. At first, some people even praised him for not jumping into immediate retaliation, hoping to break the cycle of violence. But online pressure with the Slide for Von campaign kept growing, and prosecutors now argue that it pushed Durk deeper into decisions that destroyed his empire. In a shocking twist of fate, Durk went from being honored with the key to the village of Broadview to sitting behind bars in the same year. A stunning rise and fall no one could have predicted. So who's really to blame? The truth is, you can't play two roles at once. You're either an artist or you're in the streets. Try to be both and you risk ending up like Durk, a rapper behind bars while everything you built slips away. The feds are always watching, and as one FBI director put it, while you think you got away with it, we're piecing together what will undo you. That reality hit Durk harder than ever in 2024. He started the year on a high note, celebrated by his city for his charity work through the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. He was even awarded keys to multiple Chicago suburbs, including Broadview and Bellwood, a huge recognition for the voice of the trenches. But in a shocking twist, the same key he received with pride was revoked just days later after news broke of his arrest in Florida. Broadview's mayor, Katrina Thompson, officially pulled the honor following reports that U.S. Marshals had taken Durk into custody on federal conspiracy charges. From being praised as a hometown hero to sitting in a jail cell, Durk's 2024 went from triumph to tragedy almost overnight. After Durk's arrest, Broadview officials didn't just revoke his key, they also cut ties with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. The mayor explained that while the justice system presumes innocence, the residents of Broadview expect higher moral standards from anyone honored by the city. And that's the harsh truth of street life. Legacies get tarnished, friends can turn into foes, and sometimes your own circle may betray you. In the worst cases, the end comes violently, like it did for King Von. Fans are now left asking, will Durk's empire even survive this storm? Reports have since surfaced claiming that one of OTF's own may have cooperated with authorities. According to the Express Tribune, an affiliate allegedly worked with investigators for years, secretly collecting evidence that tied Durk to the 2022 attack involving involving Quando Rondo's crew. That inside betrayal rocked the industry, leaving everyone stunned. Media outlets like Say Cheese quickly amplified the story, calling it one of the biggest twists yet in the saga of OTF. If true, it would mean the empire Durk built wasn't brought down by outsiders, but by someone from within. The internet exploded when reports claimed that an OTF member, identified as Jam, was exposed for secretly working with authorities. Allegedly, Jam wore a wire for years after serving a 12-year prison sentence, and once the news hit, the controversy went crazy online. Fans couldn't believe he managed to keep it hidden for so long. One person joked that he must have hid the wire in his forehead, while another argued that wires aren't even needed anymore, suggesting phones and other devices are just as effective. The debate quickly turned into a mix of jokes, theories, and shock, proving how wild the story had become. But what really stunned people was the betrayal angle. Word on the street was that Durk had supported Jam during his prison time, paying for lawyers and even helping his family. To now see Jam allegedly turning against him, that was the ultimate twist. Industry voices also weighed in. In an interview, Whack 100 spoke on Vlad TV about Durk's empire collapsing and addressed the rumors of Jam's betrayal, adding more fuel to an already fiery controversy. DJ Vlad pointed out that Jam had served a 12-year prison sentence for attempted murder before being released in 2022. The same year Lil Pab was killed. Since then, reports claim Jam was secretly working with authorities using recording devices to gather information on Lil Durk and OTF, which ultimately led to the wave of arrests. To make things even messier, an old 2023 interview with Jam resurfaced. In it, he spoke about how close he and Durk once were, even recalling how Durk supported him with money and motivation while he was locked up. Jam admitted, "That was bro before the fame and money. He made sure I was straight." But despite all that loyalty, the betrayal still came from the inside. Fans online pointed out the irony. Durk often rapped about being able to spot someone telling, yet he never saw this one coming. As one comment put it be the closest ones to you. And honestly, that's the real sting. Betrayal can only hurt when it comes from someone you trust like family. And that's the story. What do you think about this shocking twist? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so more people can join the discussion.